guys, I just did an entire video on what I read in April and my son's Kindle erased it. So I'm going to do it again very quickly. The first book I read in April, oh, I'm sorry, I blog at this lovelypath.wordpress.com. Excuse the shaky camera, I'm trying to balance it on my windowsill. Jane Auel, The Clan of the Cave Bear. This was the pick for my book club in Oregon, and so I just went ahead and read along with them. I didn't love this book. This was popular about 20 years ago, I think, and it's a whole series, and I just read the first book. It's about 500 pages. It's about cavemen, so it's about this idea of your typical, stereotypical caveman. And I don't believe that. I'm a Christian, and I believe that God created intelligent beings, starting with Adam and Eve, and I don't like the whole caveman thing, typically. So for me, that kind of was hard for me to wrap my head around. But taking it strictly as fiction, I did end up enjoying the herbal aspect, the hippie side of it. I like natural remedies, and so reading how they did certain things, the roots and the herbs and stuff that they found was kind of fun. It was kind of fun to follow the main character's story. I enjoyed it towards, the middle and end. I did start really liking it, but I don't think I liked it enough to continue reading the 9 plus more books or whatever there are in the series. So, Clan of the Cave Bear was an okay book. Now, I didn't read anything impressive or intelligent this month. I debated on even admitting if I read this book or not, but I'm going to admit it. Nora Roberts is a romance author. This book is by my side. It's actually 2 novels in one, From This Day and Temptation. I am typically not a fan of romance novels. I try to be really careful with what I take in, and I think romance novels can be a little dangerous for women, falling into a trap of expectation that's unrealistic in their marriages and stuff. And I don't like reading romance novels for the sake of romance novels. Now, if a book is a really good series and it has more to it than just romance or sex, I will read it if it's something that offers something else meaty and interesting. I will not just read typically books like this. This actually surprised me. It didn't have anything in it that was sexual. So references, but not there wasn't actually any sex scenes in it. So I appreciated that. She is a good author if you're just, I guess in comparison to your typical run-of-the-mill romance novels, they're not totally trashy. There's actually some substance to them. But I don't recommend her writing, that genre, I guess I should say. She is the best of that genre, I guess, if you're going to read it, from what I've read, which has not been a lot, and it's years and years and years ago. Third book I read was the next in the series that I talked about. I believe it was last month, The Beekeeper's Apprentice by Laurie King. This is the second book in that series, A Monstrous Regiment of Women by Laurie King. These are based on the Sherlock Holmes. This is based on Sherlock Holmes when he was he's supposed to be retired. He's an older man. I think he's in his late 50s in this book. And he has a sidekick named Mary Russell, who is a young woman. I believe she's like 21 in this book. This takes place just post World War I. So one of the best writers, super flawless writing. Her writing is just, I love it. They're funny, they're mysterious, they're adventurous, they're just good. I really like the series. I just ordered the 3rd one on Amazon. So I'm looking forward to continuing this series, and I will read all of them unless they just totally go downhill for some reason. But I really like them. It's about 330 pages. But super small books, fast reads, really fun, super intelligent writing. Keeps you engaged. My bangs are growing out and they're all funky, so they're bugging me. Fourth book I read was also the next in a series that I talked about. I read the first one, I believe, a month or 2 or 3 ago. The series is Into the Wilderness by Sarah Donati. The second book is Dawn of the Distant on a Distant Shore. This is very similar in scope and characters and stuff as Outlander. Now, I don't like the Outlander show. I've specified that before in case you didn't hear the Outlander books I do like. There is a lot of adult content, as is in this. But to me, there's so much more to the book that that's not what it's about. And I don't mind books that have that, because it's not personally a struggle for me if that's something that you are not comfortable reading or struggle, have any sort of sin temptation in that. I don't recommend books with that. I just kind of glaze over those parts. They don't bother me. If it's a good book, if it's not strictly a romance book. So this is Dawn on the Distant Shore. My thing keeps wanting to fall off the windowsill. And they're really good. It's about a young couple who, you have an English woman, like an Outlander, with a Scots/Cherokee. He was raised half Cherokee, half Scot. In post-Revolutionary War, you're talking, I believe it's like the 1790s. There's kind of some talk in this book about a lead up to what will become the War of 1812. I love books. This is my favorite genre, is historical fiction. Books that take a fictional story that's really interesting and weave it in, and you meet real characters, real events. The poet Robert Burns shows up in this. There's references to what's going on between France and England. The Reign of Terror, is that what it's called? No. I can't think what it's called off the top of my head, but the trouble between France and England, and America trying to ship supplies to France and England blocking them, so which will end up becoming the War of 1812. The tension between Canada and the United States. I love all that history that's woven into this incredible love story. This is the reason I compare it to Outlander, is the scope of the books. It's sweeping saga. You're in all different places. You've got constant action. There's really strong lead male and really strong lead female who work really well together. I just think that if you like Outlander, you would really enjoy the Into the Wilderness series. And I highly recommend them. There is adult content, so take that warning as you will. That's all I read in April, so 4 books. Seems like I'm missing one. It does seem, I kind of looked around to try to see what else, as I stack books, see what else I read. It seems like I'm missing one. I may have read something else, but I don't know what it would have been. And I have almost probably 90% of my books packed at this point because we are moving soon. So if I read another one and I remember it, I will just add it to next month's chat. My children are out watching Anne of Green Gables, the third inferior one, but we're studying World War I in school, and hey, it applied, and so I put Anne of Green Gables on for them and told them, have fun with some history, because Anne of Green Gables is always a good idea, just like Paris, right? Okay, thanks for watching, guys. I'm Mandy again from thislovelypath.wordpress.com, where I very infrequently and poorly blog, and I will be blogging more coming up because we are in the process of making a move, and we are going to be buying property and setting up a little homestead and doing some little DIY projects around our new home that is not yet our home. We're in the process of trying to put an offer in, so I hope that you will join me and continue watching the progress, and I will see you guys next month for more book chat. Talk to you later. Bye. Maybe. You get it to stop. What in the world? Okay, we're just gonna hang out.